Hello everyone. So today's topic is Duchenne muscular dystrophy. It is also known as DMD. Duchenne muscular dystrophy, right? Duchenne muscular dystrophy is one of the most common and most severe form of the all the types of muscular dystrophies, right? It's a very common condition. So DMD was first described by a scientist, Duchenne. He was French neurologist. So DMD can also be termed as pseudo-hypertrophic form of muscular dystrophy. Clear? Because the pseudo-hypertrophy is the main clinical feature of DMD. So DMD is a result of fault in gene and leads to progressive muscle weakness. And it is a sex-linked disease. And for the general population, risk of having an affected child is about 1 in every 3,000 to 3,500 male births. Right? So in this, males are the victims and the females are the carriers. And this is because of faulty gene. If mutation occurs in gene that is known as dystrophin gene, so this condition occurs, DMD. So in this disease, males are affected and the females acts as carrier, right? DMD is a fatal disease and the patient usually survives till the age of 20 years. So death results from several cardiac and respiratory complications. Unfortunately, no treatment is available which can really affect a loss of muscle cells. Here, only thing is that can be done is to limit the ill effects of muscular dystrophy by the means of physiotherapy and the other members of rehabilitation team. Right? So treatment of DMD requires a combined effort of doctor, physiotherapists, social workers, occupational therapists, nurses, parents, and the other members of the rehabilitation team. There should be a combined effort towards the patient condition. Psychological support is also important. So it plays a very good role for the patient as well as for the patient's family. So family of a child also plays an important role in treatment program. So basically we counsel the patient's family members, right? We change the food habits of the patient to avoid overweight, because if patient becomes overweight, the ideal activities will be hampered. Clear? So this is the introduction of DMD. Next thing is, DMD is a disease of children and usually occurs between 3 and 10 years of age. Right? So the disease is actually present since birth, but symptoms appear at the age of 3 to 4 years. So its onset is said to be between 3 to 10 years of age. Right? So DMD is congenital and inherited disease of the muscles. In this disease, only the males are affected. Males are the victims, and the females act as carrier. Next point is dystrophin gene, and the gene product is basically responsible for DMD. Is there any change occurs or mutation occurs in the gene that may lead to DMD, Duchenne muscular dystrophy? What is the role of this protein, dystrophin? Basically, it maintains the constituency of the muscle fibers, and it is present in inner surface of the sarcolemma of the muscle fibers and is produced by dystrophin gene. The dystrophin gene is located at the short arm of the X chromosome. Therefore, this disease is inherited as an X-linked recessive disorder. Right? So the most important point is the dystrophin gene is responsible for the production of dystrophin protein, that is a protein for maintaining constituency of the muscle fibers, right? If there is any mutation occurs in gene, the production of protein will be hampered, right? And the muscles will be degenerated. Next point is, as in case of DMD, the main defect is in dystrophin gene. So there is a large deletion on the X chromosome in an isolated DNA. Clear? In DMD, the muscle fibers are gradually replaced by the fatty tissues, and the normal function of the muscle is impaired. What is the basic property of muscle? That is contraction and relaxation. Right? So these muscle fibers are gradually replaced by the fatty tissues. Right? So in DMD, both the cardiac as well as skeletal muscles are involved. So due to deposition of fatty tissues in certain muscles, the muscles looks hypertrophied, right? Therefore, it is known as pseudo hypertrophy, because the hypertrophy does not take place in the muscle actually, but it is due to deposition of fat. So this fat replaces muscle fibers, right? And the muscles looks bulky, hypertrophied. But the condition is pseudo hypertrophy. So the muscles becomes weak and leads to muscle function, impairment of function occurs, and the muscles loses their extensibility and results in formation of contractures. So in DMD, the motor unit remains intact, but degeneration of the muscle fibers takes place. Right? The number of fibers innervated by one axon is diminished. So this is the pathology of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Right? So you have to remember a few points. Means mutation in gene, dystrophin gene, that produces dystrophin protein, degeneration of muscle fibers replaced by the fatty tissues, pseudo-hypertrophy of the muscle, especially deltoid, calf muscle, all these. So pseudo-hypertrophy is the main symptom of the Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And because of this, muscle function will be impaired, ADL will be affected, muscles becomes weak, and those leads to contractures and then deformity, right? Now we discuss clinical features of muscular dystrophy. Basically, DMD is a congenital and inherited disease. So the clinical features of the disease don't appear immediately, right? Basically, it appears at the age of 3 to 5 years of the child. After the development of features of the disease, a small number of patients with DMD will be with a minor functional deterioration, but a large number of patients will suffer from a progressive deterioration of the body functions. The first feature, that is an important feature, that appears in DMD cases, that is the abnormal gait pattern, right? Patient walks with a waddling gait, and the frequent fall is common. These are the common features of DMD. Abnormal gait, frequent falling, and difficulty in getting up from sitting and lying position, right? So this is the presentation or clinical feature of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Next one is the gait pattern of a boy with DMD will be generally clumsy and slow even before the age of 3 years, right? But it is usually not noticed. So we can notice after the age of 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. But at the age of 4 to 5 years, the waddling gait can be noticed in the patients of DMD, along with the lumbar lordosis. Lumbar lordosis will be there, right? So for a boy of DMD, it is difficult to get up from a sitting or lying position. This is the basic presentation of DMD case. Patient will stand up in a typical pattern, and this pattern is known as Bower's sign. The clinical symptom of DMD patient, a typical sign of DMD patients, that is Bower's sign. What is this Bower's sign? Bower's sign is one of the diagnostic signs of DMD. So in this, we observe the way the patient stands from lying position. The DMD patients has a very typical pattern. So DMD patients follows a typical pattern to stand up from sitting position or from lying position, right? They follows a pattern. So firstly, the patient goes in prone lying position from supine lying position. If the patient is in supine lying position, first he goes to prone lying position. Then the patient will get up on his forelimbs as in crawling. And patient comes in quadruped position, right? Then the patient will extend the elbows and knees and then draws the leg towards the body. Alternatively, after that, moving his alternate hands, and the patient will hold the leg with the hands alternately. Then both the hands are moved towards thigh alternatively, and climbs on his thighs and then stands straight. It looks like the patient is climbing on himself. So this is a typical pattern for DMD patient, and this is known as Gower sign. Right? The Gower sign will be positive in case of DMD patients. Patient feels difficulty in getting up from supine position, so he follows a typical pattern, that is Gower sign. Right? So after a few days, condition of the body deteriorates and the patient is unable to jump up even a very small step. Now the condition is deteriorating day by day. The patient is unable to run, and when he is told to run, he walks fast and then falls. Right? Means patient feels difficulty in jumping, running, right? Climbing stairs also becomes difficult. Patient climbs stairs very slowly. Patient uses the strength of his arms to pull himself up, but some patients manage to climb stairs even after the age of 8 years. Right? So patient feels difficulty in running, walking, jumping, hopping, and stair climbing. Means the condition is deteriorating. Next point is the muscle weakness starts by the age of 5 years. The skeletal muscle weakness leads to majority of the problems in DMD. And patient has difficulty in performing his ADL. So weakness causes the muscles to contract with less force and power. Right? So weakness in the muscle leads to contractures, and this contracture when fixes, it is known as deformity. Right? So muscles of the lower limb are more involved as compared to upper limb. So weakness of the muscle starts in the proximal muscle of the lower limb, especially quadriceps and lower trunk muscles, later in shoulder girdle, and then extends to the distal muscles. Right? So basically proximal muscle groups will be involved in DMD first, then distal muscles. Right? So weakness of the muscle starts first in the proximal muscles of the lower limb, and then upper limb and lower trunk muscles will also be involved. Next point is the muscle weakness is the main cause of cessation of ambulatory phase in DMD. So in the early stage of the disease, the waddling gait results from the weakness of proximal muscles of the lower limb. Right? Proximal muscle groups will be involved, they will become weak, and that leads to waddling gait. Right? So in young children, enlargement of the calf and some other muscle takes place due to accumulation of fat and the connective tissues in the muscles. Calf muscles and other muscles looks bulky because of fat deposition. So enlargement of the muscle due to fat or connective tissue is called as pseudo-hypertrophy. So this condition is known as pseudo-hypertrophy. Next one is contractures start developing in later stage of ambulation due to the position of the patient, which he adopts in order to balance in standing and walking. So the contracture developed are asymmetrical and mainly affects the heel cords, that is tendon Achilles, and TFL, tensor fascial lata. So this contracture becomes apparent by the age of 7 to 8 years, right? The first symptoms we notice at the age of 3 to 4 years. Now the condition becomes deteriorating, and at the age of 7 to 8 years, we can see the contractures. So in the latter stage of the disease, the contractures are aggravated because the patient spends more time in sitting position, because patient is unable to move. He cannot walk. So joint contractures develops at the hips, elbows, wrist, knees, and leads to large number of deformities, right? Because the patient spends more time in sitting position, so spinal deformity is common, hip flexion contracture is common, knee flexion contracture, TA tightness, TFL tightness, all these will be occurred, right? And the upper limb contractures you can also see. Next one is the deformity begin to develop, and the lumbar lordosis in early stage of the disease develops, and it is replaced by the kyphoscoliosis in the latter stage of the disease. So we can see scoliosis, kyphosis, or a combination of both, kyphoscoliosis. See, scoliosis often develops because of the weakness of spinal muscle, which are unable to support spinal column upright in sitting posture, right? So thus scoliosis develops soon after patient is unable to walk, and is usually at the age of 10 years of age. So what is scoliosis? Scoliosis means the lateral deviation of the spinal curvature, right? So that is scoliosis. And the kyphosis, the convexity increases in anterior-posterior direction, that is kyphosis. That may also occur in case of DMD, or it may be a combination of both kyphosis and scoliosis, that is known as kyphoscoliosis. Lateral deviation of the spine we can see, we can notice increased convexity in anterior-posterior direction, right? So this is kyphoscoliosis. Next one is the ambulation of the patient stops completely between the age of 7 to 14 years. After the cessation of ambulation, the patient becomes totally dependent on the wheelchair, right? Means patient cannot walk, he cannot run, he cannot jump, he cannot climb the stairs. He spends more of the time in the wheelchair. So after the patient has lost his ability to walk, he develops impairment of function in the upper limb as well as in the lower limbs. So prolonged sitting leads to impaired flexion of hip and the extension of the knees, elbows, and the wrist, right? The contractures develops because of his posture, sitting posture. The patient is usually confined to wheelchair by the age of 12 years. Now the patient cannot walk. He spends maximum time on the wheelchair. Right? Now by the early teenage, muscle weakness becomes more extensive and the patient becomes dependent for his aerial activities. Right? Now the patient is dependent on his family members. So like dressing, feeding, bathing, toileting, and turning in bed. So all these are the aerial activities. Activities of daily living. Like dressing, hygiene maintenance, feeding, bathing, toileting, and turning in the bed. Right? So now the patient is dependent his family members. Right? So we can classify aerial in two categories. One is B-aerial and one is I-aerial. Right? So B-aerial is basic activities of daily living and the I-aerial is instrumental activities of daily living. So both will be hampered in this case. So by the age of 14 to 18 years, patient develops severe pulmonary complications. Now the condition is deteriorating because the DMD is a progressive disorder. Right? So severe chest complications, pulmonary complications develops at the age of 14 to 18 years of age. So presence of scoliosis and the other chest deformities causes impairment in respiratory functions and thus aggravates the pulmonary infections. Clear? The restrictive lung disease occurs due to weak diaphragm, chest, and abdominal muscles. Right? So, because of non-ambulation, the other symptoms will be affected, bones will be affected, bones thinning, and the pathological fracture may also take place because of osteoporosis. Faulty infiltration of the heart, cardiomyopathy are fatal for the patients because in this, the cardiac muscles will also be involved in case of DMD. Right? So ultimately, death of the patient may occur at any time between the mid-teenage to mid-20s. Right? So lifespan of the DMD patient is very short. So main cause of the death in DMD is a chest infection because of weakness of diaphragm, muscles, deformities. Right? So main cause of death in DMD is a chest complication or chest infection. So this is the clinical features we have discussed. Clinical features of Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Right? Now you can ask anything from this. Anyone?